Hello, welcome back to Modern Days, episode 18. We're not going to do it previously because my brain's mush. Watch the last episode, ladies.
Yeah. Watch the wall.
Yeah, watch all of them, or Ken will get you.
Kenny will get you.
Kenny will get you.
Yeah.
Today's question for our players is, what is your character's perception of their flaws? So what does your character think their biggest flaw is? So that's from their character's perspective, from their perspective. I'm going to put it out. Who wants to go first? Oh, look, Ben's here now.
Oh,
See?
Yeah, he just.
Hello.
Hello.
I think Ben should go first.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Ben should go. No, let's give him a. Did you hear the question, Ben?
Yes, I did. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not even actually prepared for it. I don't know.
Yeah. Do you wanna go first?
Sure, why not?
Yeah.
Throw it in Andy's face.
What? Has Kyle just disappeared, or is it me?
No, Kyle's disappeared.
Okay.
I've knocked him off. That's what it is. I'm so surprised I wasn't. Okay, so I guess Hendrix figures that his main flaw is lack of opposable thumbs. Obviously, that's a fairly major issue in navigating a human world.
That's very true.
But actually, I think. I mean, that's a fairly flippant answer, but he's more that he really still struggles a lot with understanding human and kind of meta-human psychology and the reasons that they do things. A lot of the time, he just doesn't understand why they make it all so complicated.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's a very valid answer. Just because something's made intelligent and aware doesn't mean that they know, like, innately how to be human. Or,
yeah. I think he also thinks if he had a better understanding of it, he might have a better chance of finding John. So it does kind of nag at him that he doesn't understand it, which is perhaps one of the most human traits you can have, I guess.
Self-doubt. Cool.
Yeah, self-doubt.
I love that. Let's go Andy next. Andy.
Okay, so I'm Andy. I play Berin, the better Paladin. Yeah, just getting it in before Carl does. Right. So Berin believes that his biggest personal flaw is that is his memory issues, and there's possibly some truth in that, but also there's a consequence to some extent from that, which is that he can be slightly naive despite his great age as a result of his memory problems. He can be overly trusting of people. Yeah, so which one is actually really, I'm not entirely certain, but one leads to a bit to the other.
Yeah, kind of a mixed answer there, isn't it? It's the same thing, really. Let's go Kyle. Level the playing field.
I play Cadman, the best paladin of the group.
There we go.
Plays one-up game. Cadman believes that sometimes he's a bit too slow to act on things.
I like that. Slow and steady may not win the race. Who knows?
Just to remind
you, Ian.
Just to remind you, I figured out how to trim out certain bits of audio from the video. Remind me how to do that afterwards. I need to sort something out.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Just Carl's bit, yeah.
Yeah, just Carl's
saying best.
Yeah.
Just.
Well, I might be able to replace it with the word worst, but we'll see.
Worst. Sorry, Ian, go for it.
I'm Ian. I play Darrell, the Blaze singer. Darrell's too overconfident to actually realise he has any flaws. but generally speaking, the seniors who look over him, Summer, Sir Frank, and Mortimer Fitzwarren all say the same thing, that he's a rebel without a cause. He really needs to start taking things seriously and pick a side. He's just sort of wandering through life, dealing with it as he can, rather than actually having a real focus on what he needs to do with his life.
I love it. Ken.
Hi, I'm Ken. I play Liam, the ranger. Liam's flaw, he thinks, is that he's far too optimistic.
Get out of here. Oh no, that's a lie. Surely he doesn't believe that.
But there isn't.
No,
Yeah,
no.
I thought there was a but.
He
That's
honestly
it.
thinks he's too optimistic. That's how pessimistic he is. He thinks he's too optimistic.
Wow.
That's beautiful.
Poor Liam.
No. For the rest of us.
Yeah. Oh bless. Okay. And Tom.
Hi, I'm Tom. I play Raphy Matthews. Raphy's biggest flaw that he knows of, that he can think of, is that he's drifting through life. He hasn't got a direction except when he's given a job to do. So in this case, getting the water for Lady Renwick, or when he's doing something for the 13 Warriors. Apart from that, he sort of drifts through life a bit more.
So, what I'm getting at is what I'm getting from you guys is that you need some direction. Cool. Excellent. Which leads us nicely into our battle that we started at the end of the last game. A very, very quick recap. Our party had worked their way out of Care City. Had found some mutilated bodies on the Isle of the Skerries, which is the home to the portal to Care City. Had found their way back to the Renwicks and had been let into the property by Daria. They were all Daria and Lord Renwick were very shocked to see the party, as they were not due back for another month, as they believed that they'd missed their window of opportunity, and had kind of given up hope, as Lady Renwick wasn't going to last that month. They perhaps, in a timely fashion, just made it in time for Lord Renwick to perform his magics that would hopefully help Lady Renwick from whatever it was that ails her. Using some of the water that they'd given, the party had given him, he immediately began doing this. However, during the conversation with Daria, the party came to realise that some things didn't quite add up. Certain circumstances made them a tad suspicious of perhaps certain parties involved, and discovering with a very, very, very lucky insight score from one Liam, that perhaps Daria wasn't being very truthful. When confronted, she tried to flee, and she has managed to thunderstep her way into the garden, and we've left it at the top of the round. So I'm going to take you guys over to the manor, as that is where you are currently, so everyone can see their characters. Let's get rid of all these stupid tabs that got open. Let me get rid of sorry. I've got certain things on the GM layer that doesn't need to be there. You're all in position as to where you are. You know that beyond this border here, so outside of this window, 90 foot from where she was stood here, out into the garden, as Liam had pointed out, and Hunter's marked her. He sees the shape of presumably Daria out into the garden.
And I'd called
starting
out
at the
as well,
top of
hadn't
the
I? I'd called out as well.
Yes. So everybody is aware. Everybody is able to see her. Although it's very dark, but it's because you pointed her out. Anybody that wants to act and go towards where she is can. There's no, you're not searching around discovering where she is. You have already found. Okay. So Cadman, it is your go first. Ben, I had to roll initiative for Hendrix. Hope you didn't mind.
No,
I
that's
just
cool.
wanted to get you on the turn order. Can you guys still see the turn order now?
Yep.
That you're on this
Yep.
battle map? Yep. So
Yep.
Hendrix, you're at 13. So at the moment it's Cadman, and then we'll go from there.
Cool. Thanks.
So it's your go. So you know that she's out this way. You either have to go downstairs and exit, or somehow make it out the window, or the window is not open.
Okay. I'll move up to the window so I can see,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm going to channel divinity Nature's Wrath,
Okay.
which
Do you want to move up to the window using your movement, just so that we know how much movement you're using?
it's these windows, isn't it? That'll be 30 feet.
The window's actually there, I think.
Yes, you're correct. That is a wall. There you go.
And I'm zoomed out so I can see the whole map.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh yeah, there we go. Zoom back in. And yes,
What's the distance on Nature's Wrath?
see, there isn't actually a range on it.
No?
It's a channel divinity.
Okay. Yeah. If it's no
As an
range, I
action,
suppose
you
it'd be
can
in line
cause
of sight.
spectral vines to spring up and reach for a creature within 10 feet. Oh, sorry, no, it's 10 feet. I thought it was 10 feet of the creature. I was misreading that.
Yeah.
I can't
That's
do
all
that
right.
then. Okay.
Yeah.
How far away did you say she was?
So she was 90 foot when
From
she was
here.
here, but she also had movement. So once she'd bamfed, obviously she'd moved.
Okay.
So from where you're stood right now, you just go in onto the other battle map so I can measure. She is currently 90 foot away still, because obviously she moved 30.
There's not much I can do about that.
Place again. God damn it.
I think I'm going to bonus action. Yeah, that one. Actually, that might help. So I'm going to. Oh no, I can't cast 2 spells.
You haven't cast anything yet.
Right, I'm going to bonus
Channel
action.
Divinity.
Pardon?
Channel Divinity does not
Yeah, I
count as
can't
a
get in
spell.
range
It's
to
an
channel
ability.
divinity.
Gotcha.
No, I was going to use banishment, but because that'll
Out range.
technically hold them for a minute in place. We can all get in position.
True.
Unless she's from another plane, because Bea did
Unless
slip
she's
up with the thing.
Yes.
Yeah,
You're facing
true.
the
Yeah.
thing.
Guys!
Or are we overthinking
Remembering shit.
Yeah.
No,
Totally
thought,
overthinking it.
I thought that before. I think she's some kind of thing. Yeah, that's not her true visage.
I have a suspicion of something.
I'm still going to Misty Step, so I'm 60 foot away.
Okay. Hold on one moment. And whilst I do something, Kyle, you should now be on a different battle map.
Yep, I don't have a token, but
No, I'm going to give you a token.
Me, with you, innit?
yeah,
Oh, it's because he's the best, it's that ego
Yeah.
speaking.
Can you see your token?
yeah.
Right. You should be just one more down from that. So there you go. You are there, and you can see her. Yep.
And my only action that has range of 60 feet will be a Sacred Flame.
Go for it. So that's a dex save, isn't it?
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
in the chat.
17.
DC 17. Let's have a look.
We'll take 19
Oh,
damage.
It's 11, so she takes 11 damage. Was that
19.
19? Okay.
Yep.
Then that would work, wouldn't it? 19. Okay. Sorry. Trudy, my brain is not working today. I'm going to have to get my calculator out. Yeah. Done. Is that your go?
Yep, that's all my actions done.
Wunderbar. Let's go back to the manor and get rid of Kyle. Yeah, I've just deleted you from the turn order on this one. I'm gonna have to
What
remember
turn
that
order
turn
for the
order.
next one?
Yeah. It's...
Oh, Tom.
I know. It's all my
Sorry,
fault.
I didn't think about gardens and shit.
Well,
Raphy.
maybe
you
you
should've.
should have done.
I know. God.
Your lack of preparation.
I'm going to do a thing.
Do a thing. Do
I'm
it.
going to do a thing.
Okay.
We're on the second floor, yeah?
Uh-huh.
Okay, we're on so
Swan dive down the stairs.
no. I'm going to try and jump through the window. I know it's closed. It's an old building. It's not going to be like bulletproof glass or anything. I'm going to try and break through the window, fall down, and race on.
It's a full-leaded
It's the type of
frame.
glass that's got the lead-lined crisscrossing in it.
Full-leaded frame.
Yeah.
Mage's house that has wards over it and can't wait.
Yeah, but the wards
Okay.
stop things coming in, not things going out.
I
He says,
suppose.
hopefully.
Please.
Make your move, you weirdo.
So
I think it's a
Make
brilliant
me
move.
2,
Right up,
3,
athletics
4,
check.
5, 6.
Right up, Tom.
Athletics or acrobatics?
I'd allow acrobatics.
Okay, hang on a second. Da-da-da. Okay, acrobatics.
All right. I think you go through it.
Oh,
You are
So-
going to take a little bit of damage.
that's fine. I'll
Not
take
falling
it.
damage because you're a monk, but
Yep.
glass damage.
Yep. I'm sort of
So-
hoping to get that sort of like that arc as well, so I can go a little bit further.
Okay. You take
So-
7 points of piercing damage.
Sure, no problem.
As
So
everyone hears that there's a Raphy-shaped hole.
and
in
a
the
shout
window.
of, sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
whereabouts are you then?
Okay.
Distance-wise from this point. Tell me so I can drag you over to the other-
5, 6. So I've still got 20 feet of standard movement.
If I
Plus, I don't know
Drag you.
what sort of arc you want to give me or not.
okay,
So just
hang on a
straight
minute.
down.
Let me drag you onto the other thingy.
I'm doing the Cool Kids Club on the next map.
Yeah, you're on.
Yeah,
you're on
boy.
the next map. Let me move you to.
It's where the best classes hang out. Best of the class hang out.
Really? Jesus
Okay.
Christ.
One,
So yeah, remember
okay.
your movement, and then you can move from there.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's my standard movement. Okay.
Okay.
Because I've got a move of 50. Yep.
Yep. Here comes the.
Step of the wind.
Yep.
To go another 50.
Uh huh.
Okay, which is 2, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then from there, I don't know if you're going to allow this or not. I basically want to use my action to charge and rugby tackle her.
That's grapple.
Got action.
So it's basically combining a move with a action. So I don't get any additional actions, don't get any additional attacks or anything. It's just a straight rugby tackle.
The wind was the bonus action.
Yeah.
So you're using your movement to get through the window. Now, do I allow that as your movement, or do I allow that? Well, I suppose I made you check for it. Hang on a minute.
How far from? I can't see the map. How far from her are you?
About 20 feet.
20 foot.
What's
Yeah.
a charge attack?
So he
then?
can get there as a charge attack. Yeah, he can do that. It's whether or not I'm allowing the jump through the window as a part of his movement or an action.
It's a free object interaction with the
Free
window.
object interaction.
By
You smash
jumping
through it.
He
Exactly.
took damage.
Yeah, exactly. I took 7 points of damage.
Through. All right. Okay, I'll allow it.
Okay.
You'll still need to make a check.
Yep.
No, it'd be her check against. Is it contested?
It'd be
Because it'd be grapple, wouldn't it?
It's
Yeah.
contested.
Yeah.
It's
His
my athletics.
versus, I think,
She gets to
athletics.
choose.
Athletics or
Acrobatics or
acrobatics.
athletics.
Yeah.
Perfect. Can't remember what initiative she was on.
I
Uh,
think.
Can you
10.
remember?
I think she's
I
Just
on
don't
the
think we
10.
should allow this on the basis that it invokes the grapple rules, and everyone hates the grapple rules. No one likes it.
I think she's on 10, B.
Okay. Yeah.
There's a blank slot on the initiative tracker from 10.
Okey-dokey. Raphy was 17.
Ben, just so
Bearing
you're aware,
is
we
17
explored the grapple
under.
rules last session because Bearing grabbed hold of it and then she misty stepped out of his grasp.
I'll leave you alone for 1
sorry.
week.
It's grappling all over the place.
I'm very disappointed.
Right.
I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed.
Oh wow, that
Oh,
cuts deep.
yeah. Yeah.
So-
Thanks, Ben.
A 16 on athletics to tackle her.
Okay, let me roll her acrobatics. Because it's not fucking athletics. That's for sure. She fails. You tackle her to the ground. What's your passive perception?
A passive perception, I think it's 19. Perception 20.
Okay. 20 was that?
Yes, 20.
Wow. Okay.
Ooh.
As you tackle her, you see that she'd had a item in her hand that she'd was hawking into, and as you grapple her, it's kind of gone skittering away. Is that your go?
That's everything. That's everything. So
Alright.
she's now prone and grappled. And
Yeah.
I'm prone as well.
Yeah. She goes, "Get off me!" in your face. It is. Let's delete Raphy. Bye, Raphy.
Bye.
Don't worry, I'm going to add people to the initiative tracker once we're
I've written-
all onto the
I've-
other page.
I've noted down all the initiatives if you need them.
Survivor. Yeah, it's
Okay.
perfect. Okay, Baron, it is your go.
Right. Berin is going to look at his 3 companions remaining here, and in the knowledge that Liam can fire a bow a very long way,
Through that hole that Raphy just left.
through the Raphy-shaped hole, and he's seen Hendrix do all kinds of blip movements all over the place before. He's going to move, what's that, 10 feet next to Darrell,
Mm-hmm.
and then he's going to dimension door and take Darrell with him.
Nice.
I
Okey
hope
dokey.
Darrell has no objection to that, but I thought I'd get you into the.
Fine,
Yeah.
fine by me.
All right.
And what I'm
Let's,
actually going to
let's-
do, because I've still got 20 feet of movement left, because I can dimension door 500 feet.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm just moving you over to the other.
right, and I'm
Thingy,
assuming
so you guys-
from where Cadman is, I'm assuming we're going north. So actually, what he will do is he will aim to land here.
Hang on a second. Whereabouts?
Here.
There. Cool. Yep.
Yep.
So that's one
No,
there.
no, one.
Let's-
What? Okay, and then
So-
so like that. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then he will then move
Obviously, you can. Yeah.
with the remainder of his
You've
movement.
dimension door. You can put yourself.
I know, but I didn't want to put Darrell in melee. Was what I was trying to avoid doing.
Yeah.
Darrell, let Darrell to do, and he's actually then going to move. Baron's then going to move to there, so that he is as such flanking. But I think that is. I don't think I've really got bonus action because I've already cast a spell.
Yeah.
So I think that's me done.
Cool. So let's go. Darrell, it is your go next.
Right. Well, completely changed what I was going to do.
Let's go back to here for a second and just delete.
I was
Of our
hoping you could make
friends.
use of being closer.
Yeah, I had another plan to get there, but yeah, it's all right.
Saved your spell slot.
So the spell slot, well worth it.
It does.
Um,
Just a rethink there.
Though, like Kyle, I was actually considering banishment as well, but
Yeah.
I couldn't figure a way of getting close enough.
You're such a copycat, you.
Yeah.
Well,
God.
you came up with the best idea first.
Well, at least I actually had the spells to get myself actually into close contact with her, rather than just sort of faff around on the bottom of the map.
I'm close enough where I need to be.
Okay.
okay.
I think we hit a nerve, Kyle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Darrell goes
Can't run
invisible.
away.
Darrell goes invisible.
Yeah.
Nice. When I figure out how to do invisible tokens, I will do that.
Just delete it.
No, you can't actually do invisible tokens.
But move it to the GM layer.
Yeah, but I can't see it.
No, then he can't see it. Yeah. It's fine. We all know he's invisible.
And I'm going to move there and hold an action. If she, oh no, I can't hold an action. Sorry, I've already had my action. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I just thought of something. Being invisible doesn't really work with placing, does it? Okay, that's me. I'm done.
You're invisible, but you're singing so loud.
Does this? Yeah.
It doesn't
to think about that.
Fine. It's all good. It's all good.
I appear to have confused Darrell by dimension dooring him.
It is
Yeah.
Hendrix's go. Hendrix.
Okie dokie.
Everybody's gone through the window.
I know. Oh, fine. What ifs? Was it 1, 2,
Stay with me.
4, 5, 6, 7? I mean, I could stay with you,
No, don't.
but no.
I don't want to cramp your style.
Oh.
Ever the optimist.
Because we're all going to die. She's going to get away.
Yeah. Well, you're a cheery soul. So I guess I run to the window. That's 4, 5, 6. Is that 7 to get there? 7.
Yep.
So that is. Was that 35
And then-
foot? So it's
Yeah, so there is a hole in the window you can get through, but if you're going to blink through it, I can move you on to the other
Yeah,
thingy. I believe it is an
Carries
action
me
to blink,
30
just
foot.
so that you're aware.
is it?
Yeah, I believe so. Just check.
Okay. Where? So many things.
So many things. Okay, blink teleportation. You can blink 30 foot to an unoccupied space you can see within range. Which
That's a
is
bonus
30
action.
foot. As a bonus action. There you go.
And
So yeah, it doesn't
Yeah.
take your action. So I will. I'll put you on there.
okay.
I've joined the fun club. Do you remember how much movement you have left?
Yes. So that was what was it?
If I move you 30 from there,
30 foot. Yeah.
so there you are. You're there now. You can 1, 2, 3,
Continue
4,
my
5, 6.
movement.
Yeah, continue your movement,
So
which I
that's
believe
another
your
3.
running movement is 40 foot, something like that.
My 50 is my movement.
Oh yeah, 50 because you took the
Yeah.
feet and whatnot.
So that'd be 3 squares, wouldn't it? 1, 2, 3. And then is that it? Is that all I can do?
As bonus, yeah, you can't bonus action dash because you've used that to blink,
Yeah.
but you do have an action. So you can either use your action to move, or you can use your action to attack, or you can use your action to call your mum. I don't know.
Call my mum.
Call John. Just leave him a
I
voicemail
could.
along with.
Hold on. Let me. Where's that thing? No, that's not the one, is it? The measuring thing. That's what I want.
Yeah,
I could.
everything should
hit
be
her with my
arranged from.
with my psychic doodabbies. Is that what we're doing? And people attacking her? It looks like it's me.
I mean, yeah, fair. Yeah, you've just popped out here, so you're not super aware of.
Hooray! The pack's killing stuff again. Let's do it.
Do it. All right.
Psychic
Well,
blade attack.
Take that. So, what have I done? Oh, that's why.
Yeah. Probably not going to hit anyway. Even grappled.
All right, Liam. Jesus.
What?
Actually, be a
He said probably not going to hit anyway. But,
spell attack.
Yeah. Oh, it's
yeah, you don't hit.
just as well.
It is also at disadvantage, but I mean you've already missed, because she is prone.
Oh, okay.
And it's a ranged attack, but it doesn't matter. It's missed, and I think that's everything you can do because you've used your actions, movements, and bonus actions now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is her go. My God, I don't think she was expecting, as in B wasn't expecting you all to get down there.
Level 12, baby. Level 12.
13.
I hate this.
Oh, yeah, 13. You are, yeah.
I hate all of this. Okie dokie. Oh, shit, and the wizard's invisible as well. How very annoying. Okay. She is going to attempt to cast another spell. And she, unless there's any counterspelling going on, she disappears
I was going to,
Again-
in fairness, I was trying to make a mind. I won't know what the spell is, will I? I am going to get a counter spell at 4th
Yep.
level.
At 4th level. See, she can counterspell you, but I'm thinking because you're invisible, it's going to be very difficult for her to see where to counterspell. So
Even she's aware that he arrived.
he is aware that he's arrived because she saw you guys arrived and saw him go invisible. But my thing is whether or not she can counterspell as a reaction his counterspell to be able to get off this this spell. I think this should we do this as a roll off,
Okay.
as a
Rollies.
rollies. Let's go. Darrell, use your. You can either use stealth, arcana. I think those two are kind of the either or. I think
Yeah.
probably arcana's better for you, and it's going to be versus her perception.
Okay.
Does that sound fair?
Yeah, it's fine. Yep.
Okay, let's roll these off. She rolled a 19.
Good luck.
All right, so she does not see in time. In fact, I'm going to say she cast it anyway, so she's lost that spell slot. But it doesn't counter your counter. So at 4th level, I believe. So you did at 4th level. Unfortunately, it will have to be rolled for.
That's just confirmed
Um,
something in my head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
hmm
Don't metagame.
I'm not going to.
Sorry. So I'm rolling.
It's 15. You have to beat.
And I'm
Oh,
using my
spellcasting ability.
spellcast ability. Yeah. 15.
So fucking lucky. You just counterspell this spell. It looks like she was trying to thunderstep away. She lets out like almost a scream of fucking frustration that she just can't seem to get away. She's looking absolutely furious because now you are now visible, obviously having
Greater
cast the
visibility.
spell. Oh, greater invisibility, you son of a bitch. Well, then I couldn't have counterspelled it anyway. I apologise. Didn't even need the rollies.
Oh, sorry. I thought it was just in case you sense where the spells come from.
No, yeah. Well, I suppose technically, but I would have made her then at disadvantage. But either
Okay.
way, you did it past it. Yeah, that's that is what it is. So that's her guy gone. She's used her action to try and do that. Oh, actually, is it bonus action? Which no, thunderstep. No, that's an action. So that's it. That's all she can do. In fact, no. I tell you what, she does seem pretty pissed. And she's not massively hurt. She sort of glaring at the rest of you. You see a shining light emanate from her hands and kind of crawl up her arms, and she seems to be healing herself. So I'm gonna.
Did we injure her at all?
She was injured by a blast from Cadman.
Cadman.
Of course she was, yes.
Not a massive amount, but gives her that many hit points. Jesus. There you go. She seems to have mostly healed up any burns that have come from this radiant strike from Cadman. It is Liam's go. Liam, you are all alone on this
Yeah, I might just go and have a cup of tea.
Valid.
She's miles away. I can't do any of these misty steps and stuff. So
With Liam casually walking downstairs, taking his time, leisurely.
he's interested to know what's going on. How high up is this story? Is it 10 foot, 20 foot?
10 foot.
10
10
foot.
Yeah, 'cause
Okay,
it's only a.
I'm gonna do the move thing. What's that? So I can get to. I've got to go around there, haven't I? Oh God. Can we say that just so that I'm on the other map and it's easy for you, that I'll double move and I'll jump down from the window.
From the thing, yeah.
Yeah, to just outside there. So go sort of.
Make me a very easy
Around there.
acrobatics or athletics, just so you don't take any damage falling. You should be on this page now.
Acrobatics.
I think you only need to be I'll say a 10 because it's really not that far.
Cool.
Yeah, you're fine. You jump down. You're now at the bottom. You can see everyone. Can you see yourself on the
Yeah,
on the
I can
page,
see myself on there.
Yeah,
She's there, isn't she? Have I got any bonus actions? I don't think I've got anything I can do really as a bonus action. She's already hunter's marked. I don't want to do anything else.
We can eat these afterwards, but might as well.
I'll just go invisible just because I can. Just because it's a bonus action.
I love it. It's sort of like, can, so I will.
But is yours greater?
No, it's not. It's just just as you can magically become invisible until the start of your next turn.
I'm just re-entering all of these. Whilst you're on this page, Ken, can you see Liam on the turn tracker?
Yes, I can see. No.
No. Okay,
I can see the turn tracker. I couldn't see it for a minute. Now it's popped up, but there's no Liam on the turn tracker.
I'll re-add him. So we've got.
I was on 22 initiative, I think.
You were on
9.
Nice try. Nice try. Almost fell for it.
You didn't fall for it at all. You're not that tired.
No. Fucking am. Darrell's is the only one I didn't write down. What was Darrell's?
14.
14. Why didn't
44.
I write Darrell's down? 44. 17. And then I think let's go descending, condescending, and Baron goes after Raphy.
Correct.
Because Raphy had higher thingy.
Yep.
Okay, we are at the top of the round again. Cadman.
Yes.
What are you doing, my dude?
You're right there, Tom.
He's talking in tongues, Bea.
No.
He's just suddenly been possessed by a devil and he's now talking in tongues.
It's a regular occurrence.
That's what he says about you.
I'll move up, but I don't think there's much I can really do.
You can hold an action to see if she responds, or you can.
Yeah. What's a hold? Really helps.
Oh shit! I can see what's going on. Shit! Tie her up.
rooting from the
No.
sidelines.
I can see.
Like-
I can see.
Missed his step again.
I can see Raphy's got her pinned.
I missed his step
Time
again, then I've
up and
channeled
Gaga.
divinity to.
Use the ensnaring thingy.
Yeah, nature's wrath.
No, that's right.
So it's a DC 17, strength or dex, or they become restrained.
Strength or is it strength or dex saving throw?
Yeah,
Okay, let's do dex.
annoyingly, it's creature's choice.
21. So, though to be honest, she's going to voluntarily fail it.
We're moving with the rope.
So it looks like she's kind of given up. And these vines
grow out the ground and wrap round legs and arms.
Yeah, and she just kind of goes. Raphy.
She's fully restrained now, yeah?
Yep.
Seems to be, yep.
Restrained.
Cool. I'm going to release her, kneel next to her and go, why did you run?
She just glares at you. Doesn't respond.
Cool. In that case, who are you working for? I'm being nice here. I mean, come on.
Make an insight check.
Okay.
B, just to be clear, who saw her drop or throw away the thing
Me.
he was talking to? Was it just Raphy?
Yeah.
Just Raphy.
Okay.
Just Raphy.
I hadn't forgotten about it.
No. I was just.
You get round to it.
Yeah. I rolled a 2.
She's inscrutable.
Cool.
She just
She used
she's
to
just
Raphy
looking at you.
because he's been distracted by a squirrel on the hedge.
We'll go through it just in order to see what everybody does, but essentially we are kind of out of combat unless anybody wants to do anything.
All I want to do now is, whilst I'm keeping an eye on her, I'll say she dropped something in that direction. Well, that direction, or whichever direction it was.
You can point to a rough direction.
Yeah.
It is probably over here somewhere.
Yeah.
In this sort of vicinity. So that's been passed on. Baron?
Well, the first thing I'll do is do a divine sense and see if she pings up as
Dodgy stuff.
you can sense anything affected by the Hallow spell. I didn't know that. I don't even know what the Hallow spell is. Or know the location of any celestial fiend or undead within 60 feet. So does she ping up as any of those three?
She does not.
Okay. And then I'll go and look for this thing that she threw away.
Okay, roll me a perception check.
$21.
You find it. You look around, you scan the rough area where Raphy pointed out, and it takes you a moment. You're kind of sort of like shifting the grass with your foot, and a little, it's like looks pebble, and as it sort of rolls over, you see that on one side of the pebble has some like inscriptions like carved into it. You kind of pick it up. Just feels like a stone. Make me an Arcana check, just so that I know.
Okay.
Are you showing it to anyone else
No.
who might have the ability to?
Genuinely, I won't even. Instead of attempting an Arcana check, can I toss it? Yeah. Well, no. I shall say because I can't see him; he's invisible. I shall say, Darrell, you need to look at this. I will say it very loudly because I don't know where he
Out
went.
loud.
As well as
Yeah.
looking around. Sorry, I will comically look
Sure.
around for a sec, trying to spot him, and then say,
Yeah.
Darrell, let's look at this.
Or you see some
Darrell's like right next to
footprints
your
in the
ear.
grass approach you.
And I shall hold
Darrell's
my,
your go, so
sorry,
you can
and I'll
roll me
hold
an
it out on my
Arcana check if you want.
I'll hold it
Yeah.
out in my hand, ready
Yeah.
for it to be taken or looked at or whatever.
Taken.
I guess only
Yep.
probably Ken's old enough to remember Michael Bentin's potty time.
Yep.
I remember that.
What?
Michael Bentin's potty time.
I mean, I know who Michael Bentin is, but I don't know
Yeah.
what potty time is.
There's a load of little puppets, and they used to have maps, and they're just feet would appear across the map, sort of thing. And you had to be there.
And you had to be.
Okay, yeah, I do know. I
The
can't.
wonders of
Funny, yeah.
70s childhoods.
Yeah,
Yeah, Darrell, you look at this thing, you notice it's recognize it straight away. It's a sending
City
stone.
Stone. Yeah,
So, with that high Arcana check, you can see that it's been activated. There's like like your Arcana, especially your Fey blood, lets you see like a soft aura around it, so you can see that it's been used very recently. Yeah, I think that's kind of all that you can kind of glean from that. Is there anything else that you wish to do?
so when you say it's activated, do I still think that the person's on the other end?
The way the sending spell works, it's
she has to do it.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's not like a phone.
Yeah.
She has to activate it, and sometimes they can be like attuned to a person, so that only they can use it.
Yeah.
Until somebody else attunes to it, that sort of thing, depending on what the sending stone is and does, etc.
Okay.
It looks pretty basic, but you don't get the idea that they're listening on the other
the
end,
other end. Yeah, fair
of
enough.
the line. Hendrix.
I don't know what to do, really. Are there any interesting smells around her or the stone or anywhere in the area?
Yeah, you can
Okay.
take a little wander, sort of, from. I mean, you've got insane movement anyway. In theory, you can get anywhere within 100 foot of this whole thing, or from where you are, rather, which is pretty much anywhere. So, do me an investigation check as you're just sort of like sniffing and wandering around. No,
Perception
no,
or
it'd be perception. Sorry, yeah, perception with advantage because smelling.
Okay.
Sorry, just with Darrell. So,
Yeah.
Darrell, did you say anything about what it was, or have you actually said aloud what it is?
Yeah, I would have done.
So that
Yeah,
would have prompted a comment loudly from me to what range does it have?
Darrell, you know, indefinitely. It could be as long as it's on this plane
Yeah.
of existence.
Yeah.
Okay, right. I won't start scanning the immediate area then.
Hendrix, perception with advantage. There you go. 27. You can smell where people have stepped, the magic in the air that's been used, your friends. You smell the scent of the house. You know when you walk into somebody's house and it just smells a certain way. The Renwicks has that kind of old book smell. They tend to keep a lot of old books in there. It's got a little bit of a library feel, a bit dusty. A lot of their rooms are not used and things like that. She just smells like the house.
Okay.
And that kind of it's a weird thought for you that all she smells like is the house. She doesn't smell like anything else.
Okay.
So like Raphy has a distinct scent because it's Raphy, it's him, you know. Darrell smells like Darrell. Liam smells like Liam.
Yeah,
This woman
it's more than
doesn't
just the fact
smell
that she
like-
spends all her time there. She actually smells.
She doesn't
of that.
have a scent. essentially. And you've just noticed, and
Okay.
it's weird.
Okay. Does that
All right.
ping any bells? Like, have I encountered anything like that before?
I don't think so.
No.
I'd say from what Hendrix has never encountered a person like this before.
Okay.
The closest thing you could put it down to is furniture. Furniture doesn't have a scent, it's just the smell of where it is,
Right.
that sort of thing. Or potentially where it's been made, that sort of thing.
She's definitely like a real person, though, right? There's nothing to indicate that she's some sort of animated object from the house.
She looks like and feels like you can bump your nose up against her skin. She feels like a person.
Like heartbeat, blood pumping, all that sort of stuff.
Seems to have all of that sort of stuff.
Okay.
It's her go. She does not do anything. She just kind of looking at you all. She's refusing to speak, or she's kind of gauging everybody's what they're doing. And if she's ever asked anything, she just doesn't respond. Liam.
I'll move up.
Yeah. So we'll come out of initiative, I think, and we can go now into just normal actions as to what people want to do. She's not fighting to get away. She's not making any attempts to talk to anybody. She's just looking at you guys. She's not even making any attempts to stand up.
All right.
What do you do?
Up you get then. That's I'm literally just going to, as soon as I'll look at Cadman and go, let her go, and we'll just take it. We'll walk her back. If you want to, somebody wants to do something so she can't cast anything, great. I have an idea, but I'm not going to say anything in front of her.
Okay.
I
Do
tie
you
her up
help her up?
first. Tie her up. She's already tried to get away twice.
That's fair.
Tie her up and gag her until we get a chance to get her somewhere safe where we can question her.
That's fair.
Thank you. Do you have rope?
Yeah, I've still got my sling bag on me.
Okey-dokey.
And I've got
you take
lots of
that out.
paracord.
You sort of do.
I produce a set of zip ties from a pocket.
Even better.
And just to be clear,
very quickly,
B, I'll use a couple of pairs. We'll zip tie her wrists and then zip tie her thumbs together, and each of her fingers individually, so she cannot move her fingers at all.
Well, paranoid much?
Still got verbal spells.
Your passive insight is quite high, isn't it, Baron?
My passive perception.
No, passive insight.
No, it's not. My passive insight's 13. I think, is it Cadman's really high?
Cadman and mine are quite high.
Oh, okay. So Cadman and Raphy kind of, when you're doing this thing, there is the shadow of a smirk on her face, as Baron is individually like binding her fingers so that she can't cast any somatic components to any spells. No, she is really hard to read. The only reason I'm letting Raphy and Cadman have it is that they have stupid, insane bonuses to their insights.
But this disembodied voice says out there, she doesn't need her hands or her voice to cast spells. She's already demonstrated that.
So yeah, she goes quiet. Well, she goes quiet. She doesn't stop being quiet, but you don't get any more reactions out of her. She's gone into this state of like almost that dissociative 1,000-yard stare. She's just staring at the ground. You've stood her up, you've bound her, and you start walking her back to the Renwicks. So let's go to the main page because we don't actually need the.
So while we're at the garden, I'm going to pause to phone Mortimer Fitzwarren
Yeah, sure.
to report what's happened at the.
So who
Bird
is
Sanctuary.
taking Daria up, and who's gonna check their phones?
I'm taking Daria.
You're taking Daria.
Yeah. Me and
Cadman,
Cadman.
are you? Okay.
Yeah, I'll carry her.
You're gonna carry her. You just sling her over her shoulder.
Yeah.
Sure. That works.
Got 18 strength. I think I'll pick up a small.
Yeah,
Mage.
she weighs surprisingly very little. You sling her over her shoulder. You and Raphy go off. Hendrix, are you staying in the garden? Are you following?
I'll follow.
Okay. And Beren and Liam, are you guys following where Daria's going, or are you making any calls or doing anything else?
No, I'll follow Daria.
Follow Daria.
I'm turning on my phone because it's the first time I've turned it on, and seeing just letting text messages and voicemails come through.
Okie dokie. So those going with Daria, I'll get back to you in a second. You start making your way up through the building. The door to the where you'd come in before is open. Because where Daria had let you in before, it is still open. So you just walk up the stairs to where you were before. Darrell, you ring Mortimer.
Yeah.
You see that he had sent you a few messages. I'm sorry, I completely forgot about doing the text message
So
threads that I was going to do for people. Just escaped me. It rings for a little while, but you know that he doesn't always have his phone on like loud, and sometimes he's in areas where phones aren't even going to work, being part of the Mages Council, working quite closely with them. But he does eventually pick up, and he says, Darrell, is that you?
yes, Morty, I'm back.
What the bloody hell did you get to?
Well, I told you, didn't I? I was on a mission for Lord Renwick. We've
You said 3 days.
yeah, it got a bit complicated, but I was in that bubble realm of his.
Complicated is the word of the week, I think. Go on then. What happened?
I give him a potted history of sort of what happened. I don't think I'll be particularly familiar with the detail. Just say that there's been a major movement in the powers that control the bubble realm, and we were involved with that. It's all been resolved, as far as I can tell, for the good of both the mortal realm and the bubble realm. But what I do need to report.
Yeah, go on.
What I do need to report is that while we were away, someone attacked the island where the entrance to the bubble realm is. There is fairly clear evidence of supernatural goings on. I thought best to let you know soon as.
So is that what you say about the island? That someone attacked the island, supernatural goings on?
Yeah.
Okay. He says Where was this island?
It's off the. I could give them direct. I don't think we wanted them to go and clear it up. So it's off the north coast of Wales.
Skerries. So
Yes,
you
yes,
give the location of the Skerries. Just gonna do a roll for him just so that see if he goes. So need a cleanup crew going over. Oh God, this is the last thing I need. We've been trying to contact you. Things have gone south this end. Everything's gone tits up.
I've heard there's trouble with Faye.
Not just the Fae. We've had issues in London. We've had issues all over. Something. I can't talk too much about it, but something big's happened. We needed all hands on deck to help out with the Order of the Star and the Order of the Shield. We're spread pretty thin, but you're not to repeat that. Understood?
Of course, my lips are sealed as ever.
Good.
Smirk in his voice as he says it.
There's a couple of things that I might have need of you to do. The cleanup crew, I can organise that, but I might need you and whoever else is available to go and deal with some stuff in London.
Okay, I'll pass on the message. I can't answer for them, but they feel like a solid bunch of people. I don't think they're going to let anything go down without getting involved.
Your new chums, your new group of friends. I
Yeah.
mean, they'll be okay, I guess, as long as they're vetted.
Okay.
I was thinking more some of the auxiliaries that we have, but to be honest, they're very few and far between. So if you can get your people on the job, then, well, I suppose to an extent, I trust you with it.
Possible. See, that's.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Don't let it go to your head. Right, listen. There's been some problems with the fiends. There's and if you're going to clue your team into this, then it goes no further than your team. There was, well, we don't know. That's the crux of it. We don't know what's happened. There's been a few attacks made recently in the past week. We think maybe the Fae were involved, but everything's been locked down there. That's being dealt with by the higher council, the senior council. We have to be dealing, or seem to be dealing with, the problems in London. There's a lot of gang warfare over there at the moment. And we don't know whether it was them, but there's been some issues with the ley lines. And there was a couple of problems with the wards. I'll send you all the details once I've compiled a file for you.
Okay, just
I'll send it via email.
A little bit more information about the scaries. There was a sense of it was fiends behind the attack.
So they've attacked at the Skerries. Now that is interesting. Hang on a moment, and you can hear him on his phone doing that old man thing where he's going, just old stupid thing, where he's trying to open Google Maps to see where the Skerries are. And then you hear him pause for a moment, and he says, "That is very unusual to be so far, well, frankly, outside London." Are you sure it was fiends?
Sorry, my companions I were with are more skilled in detecting those sort of beings, and that was what they were telling me. They were detecting residual of.
Right. Okay. I will. I'm going to pass this on to Sergeant Clemens. He's taking over, organising certain task forces to deal with the issues that we've got. I'll get him to pass on the information. I've got to go deal with something this evening.
Just quickly, what was the outcome of the marriage that was at Lord Renwick's with the Ifrits? Do we know what happened with them?
Is that a GM question?
No, that's
Or
me
a-
asking Morty.
Morty, okay. Did you tell Morty about the marrieds?
No, we definitely told the Mage Council about the attack.
Yes.
Lord Renwick did, didn't he? I'm just assuming
Yes,
that
he did.
Mortimer knows about it because of what he does. So.
He definitely would have, actually. He would have known because of his position with the shield. Okay. He says, I believe that Sergeant Clemens and his team personally came to investigate that. And then it got lost in... It got put on the back burner, considering of the immediate problems that we were dealing with at the council.
Okay.
I think that if you can meet up with Sergeant Clemens, he can give you a better rundown of what has happened.
Okay, fine. On a purely superficial level, there seemed to be a likeness of the wounds of the bodies we found on the islands to those we saw being inflicted by the Ifrit that the married had with it. As I said, that might be complete conjecture.
Just our fucking luck. Now we've got a freak running around. Okay.
I'm always here to brighten up your day, Morty.
Yeah. Sergeant Clemens will be in touch. And he puts down the phone.
Okay.
Yeah. If there's anyone else that you want to phone or...
Not at this precise moment. I think I might want to try and have a chat with my colleagues at some point, but let you.
Yep, absolutely. I think Baron was checking his phone.
So Baron has turned his phone on with the full expectation there's going to be no voicemails or texts.
You do get quite a few messages. More
really?
Like, in terms of what
are they
Baron
trying to sell me double
to.
glazing? No.
Yes.
Is my broadband about to expire?
Sorry. They're mostly 2-for-1 deals at Domino's,
Okay.
that sort of thing. But you do get a couple of messages, and it's unusual that you hear voice messages from Mercy. However, you have got two
Mercy Ashcroft.
Mercy Ashcroft.
Correct. Yeah. Okay.
So she messages you. The first voice message is, Baron, I know you're probably busy right now. We could really do with all hands on deck. Phone me when you get this.
And how long ago was that?
Say probably about 5 days ago.
Okay.
And then 3 days ago, so 2 days after that, you get another. Same again. It's Mercy, and she goes, please report in as soon as you get this. Hope everything's all right your end. And that's it. But that is like the most you've ever heard from Mercy contacting you ever. You can tell, although she's very like business-like, she's obviously concerned about something.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Do I know? Sorry, Darrell. Do I know who you just contacted?
Yeah, I won't make a secret of it. You know, I do some work with the Mage Council and my contacts, Mortimer Fitzwarren.
And I'm just trying to find notes on. I don't have a handout for Mortimer's Warren. I don't think.
No, you won't do.
Is he? But is he?
You can make me a history check, as Baron may have heard the name before.
Well, yeah, but I don't. Have you actually said the name, or have you just said you're calling Morty? I wouldn't necessarily put that together. I thought I had.
Actually,
I thought we'd. Is he not Sergeant Clemens's boss?
he is, yeah, but
I can't find. So I'm just struggling to
I
find. I'm
don't
probably
think
being.
you've actually met him. I think you've only met Sergeant Clemens.
Yeah.
I'm struggling to find Sergeant Clemens's handout because there was a picture with him. But
There's
Oh,
a
yeah,
picture of him.
Sergeant-
That's
got
I
it.
can.
got it.
You got it?
Found it. Yeah. Sorry. But I know that Darrell had said he would sort out the cleanup. So yeah. So I will simply phone Mercy Ashcroft. Well, actually, no. I shall text her and say,
Yep.
I'm back. Let me know if you want me to call you.
Yeah, you get a message back a couple of seconds later. She says, yes, please call me at your convenience.
Right. I shall call her straight away then.
She picks up the phone, and she goes, Baron,
Miss
I
Ashcroft, how may I help
assume
you?
things have gone a bit sideways around here. Are you free to talk?
Yes. I've nearly finished the quest that we'd left
Fine
on.
to. How is Eugenie? Sorry, Lady Renwick.
Getting better, I believe, from some of the water we've brought back. But there's a complication. What do you know about Daria, Lord Renwick's assistant?
I'm afraid I don't know anything about Adaria.
Okay. We may have a security
But it
issue.
has been some time.
We have a security
Say
issue.
again?
We have a security issue in Lord Renwick's house. We're resolving.
You're resolving. You've dealt with it. You're dealing with it.
Dealing.
Well, please let me know what happened when you can. We've also had some security issues on the Majors Council side. I trust your discretion as always, but one of the junior council members has been assassinated.
Who's that?
Councillor Lilith Knight.
Hang on a sec. I've got a handout.
In a relation.
Lilith Knight.
Yeah.
Right. Do I know Councillor Lilith Knight?
You know her by name.
Okay.
You might know a bit more about her if you I think because of the nature of like the councillors are a little bit like people in Parliament and things like that. You can find out about them. You probably know things if you work for the council. You might have heard rumours, etc. So you can make me a history check to see if you know anything about Lilith Knight.
13.
13. You know that she's been with the junior council for a little while. Sort of, she was in her sort of late middle ages. Yeah. Other than that, you don't really know too much about her. She doesn't. She seems like an odd choice of target, if anything, because you just don't know anything about her. Mercy says security has ramped up, and a lot of the members of the Order of the Shield and the Star have had to take on guard duties with the councillors and the senior council members. We're not entirely sure what happened. We've got some people investigating, but we are spread very thin at the moment.
Is there something you need me to do? I appear to have a group of companions with me who can handle quite a lot of different tasks.
I'll be honest, because of the delay in obviously not your fault. I know that you would have contacted me sooner had you been able to, but because of the delay between responses, I have employed for short-term personal bodyguard. I would appreciate it if you could make yourself useful to the Order of the Shield. I want to have some ears on the ground on this. Some of the things are being...
Certainly.
I'm not saying that they are being kept secret. I just think that not all the information is filtering to the top.
Okay. And is someone already investigating Councillor Lilith Knight's murder?
They have, though I'd say that's been dealt with. But if you find anything else on your travels, whether you're helping the Order of the Shield or Star or whatever it is that you move on to next, if you happen to find any link, please let me know as soon as possible.
Will do. Okay.
There may be some link, though we're not certain whether it's Fae or Fiend. There may be some link between what happened at the hearing of that the dog. What happened there with the Fae and the masked people. We're not sure whether that has a link in some way. They shouldn't have been able to enter the ICC, and yet they had. We're not sure how they'd Lilith, as she was in her own home, highly warded home, I would add, being a council member. We're not sure how this is happening or why, and I want answers.
Okay. I will see what I can find out.
Thank you. Until then, keep me updated. I'll keep this line open. You know that obviously, because she's a senior council member, she goes to many places where her phone doesn't work, etc. She generally leaves it with an aide in those situations. So what she'll do is she'll keep it with an aide that will be in reception at all times, and should any phone calls come through, they can then call her, like go and retrieve her.
Okay. Yes, Miss Ashcroft.
Okay. So she finishes the conversation. She's happy with that.
There's nothing, no other message or anything like that.
Yeah. I don't know whether whilst you were on the phone with her, if you wanted to organise somebody to come and take or find out a way to take Daria in or whatever you're going to do with her, but that you could have done that if you wanted to organise.
No. I think we're going to interrogate Daria before we hand her over to anyone else. So
yeah. And actually, that's probably more Darrell's thing. Thinking about it,
it's also more
Shield.
It's also what Lord Renwick wants to do.
Through that. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Everybody else, you're moving up the through the house. You get to that area where the seating was. You sort of shove her down onto the sofa and keep watch over her. Unless anybody's going to do anything, a couple of minutes pass. I think both Beren and Darrell could probably have finished their conversations and come up during that time. And
was Raphy doing some calls as well?
I don't know. Raphy, did you want to make some calls, or you just sticking
No,
with Daria?
I'm keeping an eye on Daria. I already made the calls.
Okay, sorry, I
Yes.
misunderstood.
So you're waiting around for a little bit. You know you're waiting for Lord Renwick to come out. He eventually does emerge from the room, and he sort of seems oblivious to everything that has happened in the time that he's been conducting this healing ritual. And he looks flustered and tired, and he says, "Well, I think it may have worked, but she's going to need a lot of rest. What has happened?" As he walks into the room.
Just before we get into that, Lord Renwick, do you need more of the water?
I don't believe so. Do you have more of it?
Yes.
Raphy's face.
So no, sorry, and then Beren will produce from his pack and hand over his. I'm not. If others wanted to keep theirs, but,
yeah.
I've got. Where is it? I had two stone thermos flasks. I gave one to someone else. I can't remember who I gave it to.
I think everybody had
No,
stuff.
I had two,
like,
and I gave one to someone else once we filled them up.
the only person that I think would have is Liam, because everybody else has a container,
Have you
don't
got?
they? Except Hendrix, but I don't know
Have you got stone thermos
whether.
flask written on your character sheet for
No.
Liam? No. Okay.
No.
All right. Well,
You
don't know
just
what
have the two.
Anyway, so I'm going to give him the stone thermos flask with more water in.
Okay. He sort of he takes it and he goes, "Splendid. Very forward thinking of you. Getting more than one. Very clever. I don't know if we'll need it, but
William chuckles to himself.
Raphy's got raised eyebrows and cocked head at Beren.
Lord Renwick is looking at this flask and he says, "I really do appreciate everything that you've done. I cannot begin to thank you. I have to say I'm a bit perplexed about the situation we're in now, but and he looks towards Daria, whose hands are like this, with individual fingers tied together. But it doesn't seem to be in any actual danger. He's just confused, and he says, "I will, if you don't mind, keep hold of this. If we don't use it, I would return it to you, as if we have no need of it. It is your efforts that have brought it to us. It's the least I can do. But thank you." And he puts it on the side, sort of on a side table that's there, and he turns around and he's looking at everyone and goes, "Can I ask why my assistant is bound? What's happened? Why is my window broken?"
Sorry about that. That was me. There was some concerns that we broached with Daria. So much so that she, let's just say that we have suspicions about what has happened here, especially about the married. And she decided to flee instead of answering some questions. So we made sure that she returned. However, she was on a sending stone to somebody when I tackled her.
So, Daria, what's going on? And he just sort of addresses her. I'm assuming you haven't gagged her because of the what Darrell said. So unless anybody's
No.
made the effort to do it,
Lord Renwick, before
He
you
said-
start asking her questions, Daria, would you submit to a spell that ensured that we knew if you were telling the truth or not?
her face completely passive, almost like she's not vacant. She's very aware of what's going on, but her reactions aren't like reflecting what's happening. And she says, no, she doesn't say anything. She just looks at you, not even with a quizzical look on her face. She just looks at you.
What happens if I bite her on the toe?
Yeah, you bite her on the toe. Are you going to do damage, or
Yeah, just
you don't need to?
minor. Yeah, just maybe 1
Just-
point.
Okay,
Or
you do
quick
1 point of
pain.
damage. You sort of like you snap at her. She flinches away, and you catch that glare as she looks down at you, but she doesn't say anything. Renwick kind of goes, "Oh, Daria, what's wrong with you, woman?
I'm going to cast Zone of
If we
Truth.
could find the truth of this, yeah."
I'm
you
going to
cast
cast
Zone
Zone
of
of
Truth.
Truth. So it's
Okay.
a Charisma target number 16 saving throw. From
You know that she's saved.
okay.
Can
you choose to deliberately fail?
You can choose to fail, yeah.
Okay.
So you know that she's chosen not to.
I
you also know that the spell doesn't invoke you to speak. It doesn't.
no,
force you
I
to
don't. It
speak,
doesn't.
so-
You can be evasive.
Yeah.
I shall say she's resisted my attempts to set up a zone of truth around her.
She did the same for me.
Lord Renwick is starting to look quite upset now, and he's going, "What are you suggesting? What are you saying, Daria? Speak to us."
She was not being truthful. May I suggest that you attempt to force her to tell the truth?
About what?
She broke that merit container on purpose. She's got some ulterior motive here.
She may not wish your wife to survive.
I have a thought. The fact that she casts so many powerful spells, but so few of them that you struggle to counter, I believe. Darrell, I believe she's a warlock with a married as her patron.
Felt more like a sorcerer, if you ask me, because I'm assuming we know, being a wizard, I'd know the foibles of different magic users and the fact that sorcerers can do silent spell and quicken spell. And if I had to guess, I'd say she's a sorcerer.
But then she'd have access to more spells, surely, than the few that she cast.
What can have no smell of its own? She smells like nothing except the house, like a bit of furniture, not like a human being.
Lord
Everyone make
Renwick.
me a insight check.
Yeah, I was going to say, Lord Renwick, how long has she been in your service and where did she work beforehand?
She's worked for me for about 5 or 6 years now. She came. I was working at the St. Swithin's Abbey as one of the tutors for the cleric schools. She was. Well, technically, I didn't teach her. I'd left to look after Eugenie. She'd fallen ill. She can't see very well. Sight has been going for a long time, and I needed to be at home to help her with that. And then somebody had asked me to returned to work at the Abbey and suggested that maybe I should take on an assistant to help with Eugenie at home. Daria here was one of the applicants. She came on board to help, and then after a year or so, I had to come home because Eugenie's health started deteriorating more significantly. But she's always been good to us. She's always looked after us. I can't believe that she would have anything to do with any of this. I don't understand. So,
Hendrix, you said that she smells funny.
No, well, she smells like the house.
Okay, so she doesn't have a smell of her own.
Yes.
Was it the same when we first met her, or has this happened while we've been away? Is she a doppelganger who's some sort of replacement for the original Daria?
I don't know if I could remember that. Could I?
you can make me a high DC history check.
High DC history. Oh, that's going to go well, isn't it? Okay.
With the insight checks that everyone's rolled, you don't get anything. She's as passive looking as ever. She doesn't seem to be responding to anything. You can't remember, Hendrix. You didn't think to sniff her. Obviously, there were too many other much more powerful smells going on in the house the last time you were here.
Yeah. And she smelled like the house, so you know.
Yeah, like you didn't even think to sniff like Renwick, or Lord Renwick or Lady Renwick. You just don't think. It was only in that moment when you were like sniffing around specifically to investigate that you realised.
Can I go to? Can I go to her room?
You remember where her room is? It's across the hall from Lord and Lady Renwick's.
Okay.
If you remember, it was the room that was locked.
Okay. I can pick that though, I expect, or
probably.
Yeah.
Or
you
maybe bounce through it. I don't know.
You have to see what you're bouncing, I believe.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Say again, Ken.
Kyle.
Oh, was it? Who said that?
Me. I want to do a
Oh,
divine sense using 2 slots to check for fiend, celestial, fey, or undead.
Okay. Fey, fiend, celestial, or undead.
Doppelganger.
None of those things.
Okay. I know doppelgangers are fey, don't I?
So doppelganger in talking out of the scene for a moment. Doppelgangers in D&D, I don't believe have a. I don't believe they have a type.
Just humanoid.
Yeah, I think they're just humanoid.
Yeah.
But also there are so many things in this world, especially Cadman would know, that can take on the form of other things. Or doppelganger isn't really a thing, it's a thing other things can do. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was using it more as a generic term than a naming specific.
Yes.
Actually, just thinking back, she's got Hunter's
mark on her.
she's got Hunter's mark now. Sorry, I can use a Hunter's sense, one action. As an action, choose one creature you can see. You immediately learn whether the creature has any damage, immunities, resistance, vulnerabilities, and what they are if the creature is not hidden from divination magic.
Okay. Could you just peep that in the VTT for me, just so I can read the wording?
Yeah, possibly. How do I display? I just say, do I do that? Does that?
There we go. Magically discern how best to hurt it. As an action, choose one creature. Has damage immunity, so you know she's resistant to radiant damage.
Interesting.
Doesn't that imply she's good?
No.
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 Is hidden from divination in the sense that it has. Doesn't really say
Oh, sorry, I miss
like what the creature
read
is.
it.
It just says
No,
what
yeah.
the resistances are. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought
Um,
it meant what the creature is.
Yeah. I can see where the
Where I got
but
and what they are.
as in the resistances are.
Yeah. Damn it.
But
Okay, so
it was a good try.
I'll mention that she's resistant to radiant.
Yeah.
To people.
I'm going to detect magic on her.
You detect magic. She hang on. Let me read something a moment. Excuse me. Read my notes.
I think I know what it is, but Cadman probably doesn't have a clue.
And I think oh wait, you're female. You can do two things once. You can read it, and
I can't.
I'm listening.
I really can't.
Fake female.
I'm not. Okay.
Can I?
I've got the answer to that.
Knowing that she is immune, resistance to radiant damage, can I search my memory of my hunting history and skills and see if I can remember the different creatures that I've hunted or may have heard of that been hunted that are resistant to radiant to get an idea of what she could be.
You can make me a history check.
Okay.
Darrell, you cast detect magic. She is like softly outlined in an aura of magic, and the type is illusion.
Uh-huh.
You don't remember. Funny. Weird.
Okay. In which case,
remember who I am.
Is that visible to everybody, or just to you?
Just to him.
Yeah, it's just to the caster.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and dispel it though. Is it third level? This is where, depending on what level I cast it at, I'm assuming.
I believe so.
Okay.
7th.
Well, on the basis that I'm hoping I'm going to have any more fighting today, I will cast it at 7th level.
Everyone except Darrell, roll me an insight check. Sorry, there's so many insight checks, but that's the only way you're going to get any information out of it. Okay. Darrell, you begin casting dispel magic. Everyone who's looking at Daria, you don't see any response from her until the very last second, and I don't think anybody needed the insight check for the last second, where Darrell touches her with the dispel magic. She has this smirk on her face again, and she pops out of existence. She disappears. The bindings fall to the floor. Everything where she was sitting, everything disappears.
I want to proper look around. So, what the fuck? Fucking done it again.
It's either whatever's binding her here, I dispelled, or she was a magical construct.
She wasn't an illusion. That's just.
It was illusion magic, actually, wasn't it? Rather than, yeah.
Raphy, make me a history check.
Okay. Not great.
Wasn't that long ago. at least for you guys, because obviously it's been 8 days for these guys. But for you, it's only been 3 days. 3 days ago, you came into this house and you had the hagstone and you were looking through it when you came into the house because you were looking at everything. And you went past Daria and he seemed completely fine. Now, the hagstone usually shows the true form of things.
Yes.
What Darrell has said about it being a construct strikes true, because illusions would disappear under the hagstone unless there was a base to it,
Right.
a physicality. It would not reveal under a hagstone
Yeah.
that she was anything but what she appeared to be.
Okay.
I
Sorry
made
about
a lockpick check. Am I able to get into her room?
Did you make the lockpick check? Sorry,
Well,
I
I've
apologise.
made one,
I read that as something else. I'm so sorry. Yeah,
24.
24. You open this lock.
Okay.
And you go into this room, and it is a very well kept room. Or just on first glance, everything here seems very neat, like militarily neat, just very, iron covers and all that sort of stuff.
Sure.
You can make me an investigation for this room.
Okay.
I'll tell you a little bit about
The
it.
first thing I want to know is that if there's a different smell in there, like the smell of a person.
Yep. There is not.
Okay, so it still all just smells like the house.
Yeah. So
investigation.
I think if you roll me investigation, I can tell you potentially a little bit more in terms of scent, because obviously
investigation and not perception this time.
The investigation, because you're actually going through stuff like intensely, and it will give you a little bit more in terms of like using your mage hand to open the drawers and bits like that. Perception generally is for just perceiving what's in front of you.
Gotcha.
Okie dokie. 21. You start rooting around. You see a book kept on a bedside table. Is very generic book. It's just about world histories. There's a couple of writing pads on her desk that just seem to have things written in it that are like looking after Lady Renwick's medicines and things like that, appointment schedules, whatnot. You start sniffing around her like wardrobe area, and again, things have only passed for about 3 days for you guys. So these scents that are coming to you are older, because it's been like more than, well, it's been 8 days, 9 days or something like that since the married and the Ifrits attack. So there is a very, very faint sense of a person.
Okay.
So you know somebody was here, and at some point they seem to not be in here anymore, even though things have been moved around.
About the time of the Ifrits, would that be right with the sort of the decay of the
time for it? Yeah. Definitely.
Okay.
So, and that's kind of all you can find in that room. There is nothing in here that seems incriminating. Everything seems perfectly well staged.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of the thing, the vibe you're getting.
Does Daria still exist? Because is my hunter's mark still active on something,
good
or
question.
has it gone?
Yeah, your hunter's mark has completely disappeared.
Okay.
Whatever it was completely has been dispelled.
Right.
Darrell, you just knocked out a construct. And I know it was a construct, or at least I believe it was a construct, because,
I told you it was.
well, there's that, but no, I'm saying that when we first got here, she was here. It wasn't, there was no illusion on her at that time. I saw her then as I saw her just now. There's no
Renwick.
illusion magic on it, unlike the illusion magic on other, other people here, where I could see through it. I saw through nothing when I looked at her.
But she's completely gone now.
Mm.
Right. Can
Whatever
I
she
come back and
was,
relay what I
doesn't
found
exist
at that
anymore.
point?
Yep, sure.
Mhm.
Hendrix comes back in. Renwick is just saying, he's like expressing concern. Now he's starting to kind of babble a little bit, like, "Oh my God, she's been in our home all this time. Has she been this construct?"
Lord Renwick, I detected the smell of a woman within the bedroom, but not for several days. Probably around the time of the when the Efreets escaped. Would have been the last time that there was a scent in that room. Perhaps she was replaced at that time. Would be my best
But
guess.
do you think that Daria was taken
Quite
and this
possibly.
thing was put in her place?
When I saw the married, it looked as if it had something communicate with it, that it achieved whatever it wanted, and then they all flew out of the window. That's what little I got from it.
My God.
So
What?
perhaps that was their intent, was to replace her.
Oh, this is all such a mess. What have I done? Oh, I
You
don't
haven't
know.
done anything. You were blameless in this. You're a victim in whatever
I brought
trickery.
those things. I commissioned those things to be brought here into my house, and everything's gone wrong. And the Mages Council came because there was some problems with fiends in the country. And what if it's from what
Boy, it's
I
probably all
brought
your
in?
fault.
Oh my gosh! And he sits down, and this old man, he's just sort of like shaking.
What have you done, Renwick? What have you done? You've doomed us
Now-
all. You've doomed us all. We're all gonna
Not the
die.
time, Liam. Not the time. Oh my life.
Yeah, he starts crying. And
I
he's
think
like,
you
"Oh,
should too. What have you done?
I've
You evil old
this is
man.
horrible." Well, I wouldn't go that far.
Lock him up. Lock him up.
No.
He spends a little time just sort of digesting all this information.
Where's your whiskey?
Yeah, he's not like shakily pouring himself a brandy.
I'll take it off him. You don't deserve that.
Pours himself another one. And
I'll let him have that one.
he after a while, he's sort of like just thinking, and he says, "So do you think that all of this
It's your
problems
fault,
that we've been
yes.
facing?" Oh, just be quiet.
We-
What I'm saying is, we need to resolve. I don't wish to ask. It's too much. It's too much for you to take on. You've already helped me so much. Oh dear.
Well, you pay very well, Lord Renwick. So,
We're not going to get a chance to spend it, though, are we?
I'm just going to ignore Liam. So, if you wish to commission us on another task, then
More than.
In fairness, I've been asked to pass on a message from the Order of the Shield.
Yes, we had some of the Order of the Shield come here. Your sergeant came here and was asking questions. That's how I know about the situation with the Mages Council and the ley lines, and something's wrong with the circle spirits. And oh my gosh,
Is it all
And
the
the
circle
fiends.
spirits?
Yes, they've gone to ground, apparently. No one can contact them. They can't. So some big wave along the ley lines. I'm not really sure what happened, but
Ooh.
I don't know if that's related at all. But it all seems to be going on. But if I can help you in any way, in any of your duties, if you have been tasked with something, then please consider anything that I can help you with. I will do it. As long as it doesn't require me spending too much time away from Eugenie. Oh gosh, I need someone else to look after her now. Oh, I can't trust anyone ever again.
No, you can't.
You can trust us to do the job we're paid for. Speaking of which,
Yes.
can you make sure that the rest of the money's released from the escrow account and paid into ours?
I'm not sure you can trust us.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, Daria had all that. Don't worry, I'll deal with it. I'll
Oh,
deal
how
with it first thing
convenient.
tomorrow morning. First thing tomorrow morning.
I turn to
You guys
Raphy
have a
and say,
chance.
we're not going to get paid, you know that.
He assures you you will get paid. First thing tomorrow morning, he can go out to the bank and make sure that goes in. He has people
All
doing.
that
He
money.
does say. He does mention before you guys start talking about your plans about what it is you've been tasked to do and where you're going to go next. He says to Hendrix. He says, I believe one of your. He called himself your handler from the council came. Your last location, Shona, I believe his name was.
Yeah, lost without me, yes. Bless him.
He seemed quite concerned that you'd gone missing, and I explained the situation, that you had gone off to do this task. He seemed content with that, but he asked me to pass on a message to you as soon as you'd returned. You should keep in contact with him. There's some issues with something going on in London.
Oh.
Probably
That's
affecting
all right.
you in some
Thank
way.
you very
I'm
much.
not really sure. No problem. And he goes back to drinking whiskey or brandy or all of it. To be fair, he's.
Do you have any way to, use magic to find out what the Efreets would have done with Daria? Like, could you scry the area where the bottle was dropped and see what magic was used there to destroy her or disappear her or stick her in another dimension or hide her in a bottle or I don't know.
I'm
Bound to be dead by now.
Quite possibly.
I don't think
Not worth
anything.
looking for.
He's gotten used to taking the Baron approach to ignoring Liam. And he goes, I don't know if there's any abilities that I have that could
do that.
could aid in this.
Oh well,
I could. No, absolutely. You are absolutely free to do any investigation you deem necessary. I may not be part of the larger council, but I do have connections with certain other mage societies, and if my name can help you access anywhere, I will certainly do it. If you wish to investigate what has happened to Daria, I would be most grateful. I don't think he has anything that can actually
do anything like that. No.
I think most of his stuff is geared towards what's the word?
Fucking shit up.
Fucking shit up.
Healing.
No, not healing. Well, healing too, because he's a cleric, but
Divination.
items. So like discovering the item, legend lore, that sort of thing.
Okay.
So I'll look it up later. He's at the moment he's too fraught with worry to think about anything. But you guys have this opportunity now to be able to discuss things that you need to discuss to go forward.
Darrell, what did you say Sergeant Clemens wants us to do?
It wasn't Sergeant Clements, but Sergeant Clements is a person we need to contact. There's something going down in London that the Order of the Shield wants me and potentially you to look into. It's related to the trouble with fiends at the moment, but also some gang warfare down there.
Gang warfare.
That's were the words that were used to me, yeah. Whether the fiends have got into the gangs or there might have been some talk of the Fae being involved as well. But yeah, so London is where they want us. Where he is to the ground. I've got to report to Sergeant Clements.
Does Shona have a phone number that I would be able to call?
Does Hendrix have a phone?
No, but I'm sure I
Then-
could borrow one.
Why would you know his number?
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I think that Hendrix is a smart enough pooch to remember anything. But do you think that Hendrix is the sort of person to phone
Probably
Shona
never
back?
bothered, especially with Shona. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Anything to avoid him, really.
You know how to contact him normally. Should you ever need to, it's usually through Delilah. So she's usually your person that contacts anyone at the council, kind of deals with them because they have this rather snooty attitude towards you.
Yeah.
So generally, if you need anything, which is very rare from the council, you generally go to Delilah and go, "Hey, can you go pass on this message or whatever?"
Yeah.
Or you can go actively try and find him. I'd say there's a chance that you might know where he lives.
Okay.
But
either way, let's wait until we get down to London.
Yeah, let's put it down to just a straight luck check. Roll me just a d20. I'd say if it's 15 or above, you know where he lives. So 1 in 4 chance.
Wait, yeah, roll that. Oh no, that's 2 of them. I don't want it. No, stop going up.
You good there?
There might be 3 of them here, but just take the first one. I didn't know how
Wow.
to
Ben.
Yeah.
There'll be D8 come out instead.
Oh no, there you go. Somehow it was 27. Okay.
Okay. Oh, for God's sake! All right, let me do. I can do it this way.
No,
First one was a 4.
Was it? All right, well, use
The
that.
first one is a 4. This first one is a 4. You don't know where he lives, but
No.
you know how to contact him. Yeah, London is kind of the.
How hard can it be to find one person in London? Easy stuff.
So, as it's 1 minute to 11, shall we
Yes.
table the conversation
Yeah.
until
I think
next
that's
week?
a good
Right.
call.
So can we add another 2,500 gold?
Yes, you can absolutely do that. Do that. 2,500 to each of your things. It will go through. Yeah, immediately as first for the central process. There will be no delay in that. So I was just doing the whole Daria knew all the information for flavor. Run off with your money.
Did we get anything before we went?
5.
Yes, you got 2,500 before you went
Oh, did we?
So you should now have 5,000 gold.
in total,
What
unless you've spent it.
I don't think I went anywhere to spend it.
what Hendrix
I
does
think
with
the
gold
only
is make big
person.
money.
Yeah,
Why have I got
all
2,009?
the doggy treats in the world.
Yeah, that's
Why
it.
have I-
He doesn't have to move again ever.
I think
Why have I
Cadman
already
was
got...
the only person that actually spent it.
Yeah, for some reason I've got 2,900 marked down on mine.
So you must have had
400 left.
400
before
left
Yeah,
when you started
okay.
cash.
Is it somewhere on specifically that you put money on this thing?
Yeah, it's in the
Yes.
inventory.
I'll do it for you. Let's wrap up the session.
Yes.
Yep.
Thank you all for joining us, and we hope to see you next week, or whenever we bloody film these things. And if you like this show, there is more shows on Wilderspace Gaming, run by Andy, and soon to be maybe some other GMs later on once this is finished.
Mm-hmm.
So
We shall
yeah,
see. Hope so.
we shall see. Thanks very much. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, folks.